Yo, I hope you're having a lovely day. I'm gonna be trying something different today. Maybe this is the start of a series that lasts throughout the summer and beyond, or maybe this is something that just lasts one episode. So, over the past couple of years, I've started to realize that I have kind of an addictive personality, just in terms of collecting things. I inventoried my camera gear the other day, kind of in preparation for this series or whatever it becomes. I have something like 30 cameras sitting on a shelf over there, and most of them are analog. I think about 3 of them are digital, including the one I'm shooting on here. I've always been of the belief that you should buy things and use them if possible. I mean, there's a few things that I can't really shoot because the film formats don't exist anymore, but a majority of the cameras sitting over there are usable, and they're all things that I've thrifted. I would say that I started collecting unintentionally. Yeah, it's part of my personality. When I start liking something, I just kind of keep falling down the rabbit hole. And I used to go thrifting a lot with my dad in high school. I think it started maybe my sophomore year. We'd always thrifted a lot. It's kind of always been an activity that me and my dad have always enjoyed. And I just kept finding different cameras, and they were really cheap. I think there was a film boom maybe a couple years back. It was probably before I started collecting these cameras, because I remember I could go in and I could easily find, SLRs, and I could find really nice cameras for $20 at most. And most of the stuff that's sitting over there, I know it sounds like 30 cameras. That sounds like a lot of money, but most of those were $5. And again, the most I spent on any of these cameras was $20-$30, other than the digital stuff, which I bought online. But yeah, back to what I was saying, like, I believe in using the gear that you have. And over the pandemic, I've been actually shooting a lot of it and getting around to playing with it. Over the years, I've cleaned them, I've made sure that they're in working order, but I haven't really had time to shoot them. Again, because most of it's analog, and I didn't really get into shooting film until probably the start of the pandemic, for whatever reason. But also, speaking to my addictive personality, I started getting into playing 2K, NBA 2K21 to be exact. It's kind of a grind, especially if you're playing my team and you're trying to, rack up the reward. I'm going to stop the esoteric 2K21 rant here, before it gets too far and you get any more bored than you already are. But the point of me mentioning 2K is this. When I started playing, I started also watching videos about it online. And so one of my favorite content creators is Kenny Beecham, KOT4Q. He's just killing the game right now, and it's been really cool to see him kind of climb the ranks as a content creator. But he does this thing where he uses these wheels. And it's kind of a 2K thing. I'm not sure if he came up with it, but I was introduced to it by Kenny. It's just these wheels, and they kind of determine what players he uses, or, different stipulations for whatever series he's doing. So I was sitting there and I was like, how can I apply this to what I do? And it came to me. I don't know if there's some content creator out there who does film stuff or photography stuff who has done something like this. So I don't want to claim that, I'm doing something original, but this is an idea that came to me when I was watching those 2K videos from KOT4Q. So the concept is this, and this is why I had to inventory all my camera gear, and I had to check my stock of film. So I've made a bunch of different wheels, right? And so I'm going to spin these wheels, and it's going to tell me what I'm going to shoot that day. Tomorrow, which is going to be Sunday the 16th, my family is planning to go on a fishing trip in Jefferson, Wisconsin. I'm not sure why we started going there. It's kind of a middle of nowhere, small town. I've been going there since I was a kid, and it's always been kind of a special place for me and my family. And to be honest, I haven't really done much shooting out there. It's going to be the perfect place to launch this series, I think, because it's going to give me the opportunity to, break out of my comfort zone and see new things, so I'm not shooting the same Milwaukee landmarks. That's another reason why I want to start this series, is I want to force myself to get out the house a little more. And hopefully this is going to drive me to go different places, get out of my comfort zone, as I said before, and, branch out from Milwaukee, go to the suburbs, I don't know if I want to go to the suburbs with the camera, but especially not with the way I look right now. Go out to different cities, go out to different places in Wisconsin, maybe even plan some trips outside of Wisconsin. I'm fully vaccinated now, We part of the two-shot gang. So, you know, my opportunities are expanding, especially with things opening up a little more now. Let me try to explain these wheels a little more. I'm going to cut in some footage so you can see what the wheels look like as I talk about them. So we start off with a wheel with two options, and that's going to be the medium wheel. So that's film or digital. And then whichever one that lands on, it breaks into a separate wheel. For the digital wheel, I've only got, I think, 3 digital cameras, so it's very simple. Whatever that is, whatever it lands on, I'm shooting that. When it comes to film, though, that's when it gets a little more interesting. So from film, I break it down into the film format, right? So I've got 120 film, I've got 35 millimeter, and then I've got instant. I'm kind of debating whether or not I want to put instant into the medium format, but I feel like instant is kind of its own universe, and so it kind of feels weird, you know, blending it in with one of the other ones. But again, if we continue with this series, we can tweak these things as we go. But from there, whatever I land on, whether that's 120, 35, or instant, it breaks into even more specific wheels. So the instant obviously would have all my instant cameras. The 120 would be all my medium format cameras, and the 35 is the one that I have most cameras of, I guess. And then from there, I have a film stock wheel that'll tell me what I'm shooting. For instant, there's not going to be a wheel because there honestly isn't that much film there isn't that much variation in film. With 120 and 35, it makes a little more sense. So there are wheels for that. So let's cut to the chase. I'm not going to keep you any longer than we have to because we're going to have a whole day of shooting tomorrow. I don't even know how I'm going to film that. It's going to be awkward because I'm probably going to be walking around by myself. I don't think my sister is going to want to film me. So if I get mugged tomorrow, you know why. It's because I'm walking around with 2 probably kind of expensive cameras. All right, so here we are with the medium wheel. Let's spin it and see what happens. It's so anticlimactic. I'm more of a tactile feel guy, so I wish I could like actually spin it, but you know, we're too broke for that. Okay, so we landed on film, which is pretty cool. I'm down with that. Let's see what film format we'll be shooting tomorrow. Okay, medium format. You know, I'm not going to complain. That's a little expensive, but I'm not going to complain. I do like shooting medium format. All right, and here we've got my selection of medium format cameras. Some of these you might be wondering what the hell they are. One day we'll do some videos on them, but for now, let's just spin the wheel and see what we get. I low-key don't want to bring my Mamiya RB67. Oh my god. Well, I'm gonna break my back tomorrow. Out of all the cameras. But nah, that's fine. I'm not gonna complain. I love my Mamiya RB67. It's just kind of heavy. And it's a real workout to carry around. And I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna film me shooting it, because it's kind of a beast of a camera. It's okay. It's not the camera, it's me. I'm weak. We've got the 120 film stocks loaded. I'm not gonna lie, I want to shoot color tomorrow, but whatever. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I've never shot Ektar 100. So who knows, tomorrow's gonna be just the whole day of me breaking my back and shooting film that I've never shot before. But that being said, I hear Ektar is good for landscapes, and I'm probably not gonna be shooting people tomorrow, so whatever, we'll take it. Again, this is just supposed to be a fun thing. This entire channel is just about having fun with photography, not being too serious. And that's why we're doing this. Step outside my comfort zone a little bit. And I'm really going to push myself to stick to this. I'm only going to bring the camera and the film that I land on. You know, you could argue that this is limiting me unnecessarily, and I could see that. But at the same time, it's a challenge, and I own these cameras, and I own this film, and I need to use it, right? Sometimes we get too stuck in this idea of what our gear should be instead of just using whatever works, right? And even me complaining about the Mamiya RB67, it's a wonderful camera, and I'm very lucky to own one. maybe this is an opportunity for me to bond with the camera again. I'm gonna check you out tomorrow when we go shooting. It should be a fun time. All right, y'all. Let me prepare my back so it doesn't break tomorrow. I vaguely feel like this thing that I'm sitting on is going to fall off the wall. So if I die, did it for the video. Unfortunately, got here kind of late-ish, towards the tail end of golden hour. I think I started walking and shooting around 7:30. So that was only like 30 minutes to an hour of shooting. So I had to prioritize shooting, and I didn't end up filming any B-roll. So I think to kind of fill out this video a little more and actually make this pilot episode of the Wheel of Photography series kind of bearable to watch and a little more interesting, I'm probably going to head out tomorrow with another roll of Ektar. I mean, I'm on the 10th frame of this roll of Ektar, so I might try, I don't know, setting up some sort of long exposure, or just shooting some random thing before we leave. It's around 10 now, and I think we're packing up to leave soon. It was fun though. I mean, I did get, the light that I did have today was really nice. Golden hour, so it's pretty ideal for shooting. I had fun. It's been a while since I've been here. I think the last time I was here was kind of early on in the pandemic. We used to come here a lot when we were kids, so it's always nice to kind of walk around the area and explore a little bit. See new places, see new parts that I hadn't seen before when I was younger. The Mamiya RB67 is still one of my favorite cameras of all time. At least the film cameras that I've shot. I've got the 127 3.8, so it's kind of tight, but it worked for a lot of the things I was shooting today. I kind of just tried to capture the vibe, and I didn't really have much of a choice but to shoot whatever I saw first. So really just a bunch of houses. I know Jefferson has a special place in my heart, and it's a very quaint, small town. My mom made fun of me for shooting some of the things I did, but hopefully they turn out. This is actually my first roll of Ektar that I've ever shot, so I don't know how it'll turn out, or if it'll turn out. I know it's fun. I mean, lugging this damn thing around is hard sometimes. Like, this thing weighs a ton, but you know, it's about the only workout I've gotten over the past couple of months, so I can't really complain. I probably won't develop tonight. I'm probably just gonna find one last thing to shoot, kill this roll, and we'll call it a night. But hopefully you're enjoying this. It can't get much worse than this, so you know, the only way is up, I figure, for this series, in terms of production, in terms of the actual photography. I figured the only way is up, so you know, hopefully you feel like joining me for the ride. There's still plenty of summer left, and there's still a lot of rolls of film in my refrigerator. Also, vlogging in public is really awkward for me, and I feel like my mom is staring from the car. So I'm gonna end this now, and I'll catch you tomorrow. actually get some B-roll of me shooting. So, see you then.
We're here with a new roll of Ektar, and hopefully we're going to actually film some B-roll of me shooting. It's actually been like 2 or 3 days since the Jefferson trip. I mean, I've just been hanging out with family 1 and 2. It's been kind of dreary-ish. It's actually like 6 o'clock now, and it looks like the rest of the week it's going to be dreary. So I guess now is a better time than ever. I'm here at, I don't know, I just call it the Lighthouse. If you're from Milwaukee, you probably know what I'm talking about. This is the easiest place to kill a roll that I can really think of. Light's not too great, and we might end up just doing some night photography. I don't know what Ektar long exposures look like, but who knows? Maybe we'll find out. We'll play around. We'll get some shots in. I've got a whole roll loaded, so we'll walk up and down the park, see what we can do. Maybe even jump into the city for a few seconds. Come along, kids. So, lighting's not so great, but decided to take the detour on the way home because I had 1 or 2 shots left. So I decided to stop at Milwaukee's favorite custard spot, or one of the contested favorite custard spots, Leon's. I've always wanted to shoot the sign, but I've always been too, I don't know, nervous to bring my camera here and set up the tripod. And I mean, I guess nervous and lazy. It's kind of weird walking around here with a giant tripod, and I'm sure I got a few stares. But yeah, I killed the roll of Ektar, so that means I guess the video is more or less done. But I also started a roll of Portra 400 just because I couldn't miss the opportunity to shoot some neon signs. I didn't bring my quick release cable, so I had to do the old hand in front of the lens trick. So hopefully it's not too shaky, but we'll see. This is really weird shooting this, and I'm actually glad I got around to doing it. Hopefully, again, I have no idea what Ektar looks like at night. I don't know if I've ever even seen anybody shoot Ektar at night, so that might have just been a terrible idea, but at least I have some shots on the Portra. I'm certain sometime this summer I'm going to be back here shooting this again, maybe with a little more competence. But yeah, I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to go home, maybe develop it. I actually really want to catch what's left of the Lakers and Warriors play-in game. So maybe I'll catch you tomorrow and we'll finish this video up. But until then, take care, y'all.
The mic in this sucks, by the way. It's my new phone. My last phone has seen better days. And I just so happened to get this right around the time that I started shooting that second portion of the video, which is why the audio is absolute garbage. Thankfully, we're back with a proper mic setup, and you can actually hear me, and I don't sound like I'm talking through a pillow or recording on a potato for that matter. That being said, audio is something that I'm definitely going to work on moving forward. There's a lot of things that are still kind of in flux and details that are still yet to be ironed out. I'm just about done editing, and I've done all that I can to really recover the audio, and I realize that I am going to have to do some external audio, which isn't the biggest problem. It's just a little more gear to add to the kit every day, but that's not a bad thing. Someone wise once told me that video quality could suck, but it's the audio that really turns people away. So that's an area of improvement, and honestly, everything that I do is subject to change. I'm working on everything. I'm working on developing all these skills, whether that's making photos or shooting video, which is not something I do on any professional basis. I've always just kind of liked making videos for fun. Recording myself while I'm shooting is definitely not something that I'm used to. And I'm not sure I'll ever really bust out into the whole vlogging mode. I don't think I'll ever be comfortable grabbing a camera and holding it up to my face and walking around talking to it. That's just not me. And so there are certain boundaries that I'll have with this series. But I kind of like the format that I've got so far. I like just taking a second, shooting some B-roll with my phone. I don't want to keep you too much longer. Now that I'm in the final phases of editing, I wanted to just tell you that I'm really proud of this. I'm really proud of the photos that I shot over the past, it's been about a week now. I'm shooting this on Sunday, May 23rd at 1:30 in the morning. I have been up for the last few nights just developing film, scanning film, and kind of putting the finishing touches so I could start editing, and I'm really excited to see what this series can become. If you've watched this all the way through, I really appreciate it, and a huge thank you to you. If you have suggestions, leave them in the comments. You can follow me for more photos. There are a few photos that I didn't share in the video that will be posted on my Instagram. You can check me out at Freshman Brian. I'm not a freshman, and sometimes I feel like I should change that name, but it's been like 4 or 5 years strong, and kind of built my entire shtick on it, so it's going to be a little difficult to backtrack on that. I would have had this video out a little sooner, but I actually went shooting the other day with a buddy of mine, Dallas, if you're watching this. Much love, my dude. We climbed some rocks, and I realized that I'm an old man, and actually, that's what this roll of film here is. So that'll be most likely on my Instagram. I don't know if it'll be a part of any video. I didn't really shoot anything for it. But I've got so many ideas, and I've already shot stuff for concepts beyond this series, and I've already even shot stuff for this series, perhaps. I'm really, really excited to see where this goes. Going out and shooting is always something that has been really special for me, and it's kept me sane over these past couple of months, what limited shooting I have been able to do. And if I can get a little sappy here, when I was younger, when I was just starting out with photography, I always had this vision that I would be able to go out and make photos that I was proud of, and that I would be able to share those with people. And that's why, to me, numbers don't really matter. It's the people who genuinely engage with this stuff. There are people, I know there are, even if it's just my family, who sit through and watch all of these, whether they're 20-minute long videos or 50-minute long videos, or whether they're just rants. There are people who read every single word of every caption I write, even if it's just incoherent and I wrote it at 2 in the morning listening to sad music, even if it's cringy. This is really just another platform for me to share my stories, one, and two, to try to work on my just speaking skills. But I feel like I'm finally taking steps to become the photographer that I always wanted to be. I'm really blessed that I'm able to share that with you, and I'm even more blessed that you stick around to listen to me rant, or just go on long tangents like this one. Subscribe if you feel so inclined, and I hope that you have a lovely day. Stay tuned for more. Peace.